On Sunday, September 10th, I went with my friends to Corpus Christi Church for the 11:15 Mass. The church was smaller than I had anticipated it being, but it was still gorgeous inside. There were stained glass windows and chandeliers, but my favorite decoration was the clock at the rear near the exit that looked like a monstrance. It's above our heads in this picture. When we arrived at the church, we were greeted by two women who were handing out programs and Mass books. When we sat down, we unfortunately didn't get a seat towards the front, but because the church was so small, it didn't seem to matter. We could still see everything that was happening. At Mass, there was some diversity, but not a lot. One thing that stuck out to me was that there were very few children. I'd say that most people were college age or above. The participation levels were fairly average, but I could tell that some people were more into participating than others. I was overall very impressed with the music at the church for the most part. It was very elegant, however, it did seem to make Mass stiffer than I'm typically used to. At my church back home, we normally begin with a lively sort of song that helps to set the cheerful tone for Mass, but the introit antiphon that was with the procession into the church was Jesus es, which was a Latin chant that sounded like this. The processional song was Praise to the Lord Almighty, which we found was hymn number 96 in the songbook. It sounded like this. I found it interesting that the choir sang in a room that was located at the front of the church. I felt like it kind of took away from the Mass because it made it seem as though the choir was separated from the congregation, which made it less inviting for the congregation to join in with the music. I didn't notice it during Mass, but after looking at the program and the readings again, I saw a connection between the gospel that Father Daniel O'Reilly read about dealing with sin and a couple of the songs, like the recessional God of Grace, God of Glory, which was hymn number 91, and also the hymn O God of Love, O King of Peace, which was number 109 in the songbook. This clip here shows the recessional God of Grace and God of Glory, which was the final song. Overall, I would say it was a good experience, and I would definitely go back to this church. However, it was something that would take a little bit of getting used to, as the music was more in Latin than I'm typically used to. But I really liked it, and I think that it was very well done musically and liturgically.